We're going to talk about creating your copywriting portfolio. Extremely important if you want to get clients and become a successful copywriter in the future. The reason why I put it here is because it's not necessarily outreach, but it's not necessarily copywriting skill either. So I just put it here in the copywriting section. So why create a copywriting portfolio in the first place? I mean, who cares? A copywriting portfolio is a collection of your best work and is used to increase your perceived value and decrease the perceived risk of working with you. In order to add to your portfolio, your copy doesn't have to be paid for, meaning it doesn't have to be copy that you wrote for a client. It could just be copy that you wrote. The reason why they want to look at your portfolio is because they want to assure themselves that you are a good copywriter who is capable of creating good work. You can write example copy and still have a portfolio. Super, super important. People always ask me, Tyson, how do I get clients? How do I get someone to trust me, pay me $1,000, $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 per month? But I have never had a client yet. The way? Create an awesome portfolio. So how to start and build a copywriting portfolio. I've come up with another banger framework. Super simple, super easy to follow along with. Polished copy already. You want to have proof in there and you want to have variety. Okay. P, and V. You want to add professional, polished pieces of copy, proof of its effectiveness of your copy, if you have any, and a variety of different forms of copy. So for example, polish, proof, variety. What does that actually look like? So essentially with polish, you want to just have polished pieces of copy. Okay. So emails, you went through and looked at them the next day. You went through and sent them to the school community, or you sent them to the Discord community and asked people to review them. They've given you your reviews and you've actually revised it. And you also want to have proof that your stuff works. So if you're able to take screenshots from your email service provider or to get testimonials from your clients, and of course, I'm going to show you how to do all of that as we go on. But if you're able to get screenshots and testimonials, you want to put that in your portfolio too, because again, it increases your perceived value. And then you want to also have a variety. So you don't want to just have emails. You also want to have example landing pages, and you don't have to write the whole landing page. Essentially what you want to do is just create a headline and a lead. A lead is essentially like the top third of a landing page. So you just have like 1 or 2 scroll stoppers about how the actual product works. As long as you're able to have those two, maybe add a video sales letter in there as well, which again, we're going to be talking about as we go on. And another important thing to add is you don't really want to have copy. Like copy isn't actually polished until you also put it through AI. And of course, we're going to talk about AI and all of those things as we go over the secondary skills portion. That is probably going to be, not going to lie, what are the most important portions that we talk about, because right here, we're laying the groundwork. Now, next, we're going to talk about getting clients. And then we're going to talk about really honing in and being the best. It's not, copywriting isn't a game of, oh, well, there's already so many copywriters out there. If you're the best copywriter out there, again, it's literally like you being against a whole bunch of toddlers. It's too easy. You just win. Okay. You just win and you win and you win and you win. 1 client turns to 2 clients, 2 clients turn to 4 clients, and bro, it's game over. So again, I'm going to show you exactly how to do that. So a recap before we move on: copywriting fundamentals. Okay. These are the things that we learned. How copywriting works, practical examples of how copywriting generates money. You talked about copywriting principles, strategies you can use in any situation with copywriting, and psychology. Understanding people and why they buy. We also talked about copywriting forms, emails, and structures, how to write and structure email copy. We talked about landing pages, how to write high converting landing pages. And we talked a little bit about portfolio building, which we'll go deeper into as we go on, but how to build a portfolio that will increase your chance of getting hired. So next, I want to talk about complementary skill and why it's so important. Now, this is a term that I coined called copy salting. I was one of the first people to call it that, but there's many names for it. Sometimes people say like, oh, growth operator, or info product growth agency, or whatever, right? There's a ton of different names for it. Essentially what you're doing is, again, you're selling your copywriting, but you're also selling complementary skills on top of your copywriting. Anyway, let me just read the block because I'm sure it's going to explain it. There are skills like funnel building, landing page creation, and email marketing. These are all skills that are going to get talked about later on in this video. But for now, you have everything you need to go out there and start making money with your skills with copywriting. So we'll be covering the outreach and client getting portion next. And then afterwards, we'll be tying everything together. There will also be a portion of the video dedicated to exploiting AI, artificial intelligence, to make everything easier and faster. But the foundational skills always come first. Disclaimer: skipping through the video or missing out on the end is going to leave you confused. If you want an end product that works, you have to follow the recipe and instructions in order. Okay. I shouldn't have to say this, but I know some people are, they just get into a mode where they're like, oh, I just want to get the best content and see if I can just go and get clients without having to listen to everything. And although that would be nice, guys, I'm telling you, everything in here is going to give you a huge, massive advantage over everybody else. And now, my friend, it's time to actually make money and get copywriting clients. Get your first copywriting client. And guys, remember that making it to the end of this video is already going to put you in the top 2%. This was the analytics on my last 4-hour course. And again, this course is going to be way longer than 4 hours. So you're probably going to be in the top 1% if you actually make it to the end of this video. Seriously, as you can see, only 2% of people made it to the very end of the video. 2%. So again, I get it. It feels like there's a bunch of competition out here. Guys, not even 2% of people can finish a course that is literally worth over $1,000 that they've been given for free. Man, keep that in mind. Put that into perspective. Anyways, guys, that is it. And of course, I can't wait for us to actually go and get some clients. Man, what's going on, everybody? Did somebody want to get some clients? Because today we're talking about how to get copywriting clients that will pay you $4,000 every single month each. Okay. So, spoiler alert, at the end of this section, I'm going to be revealing exactly what I would do if I only had 60 days to quit my 9-to-5 and replace it with copywriting if I was starting from scratch. Gun to my head, I'm going to die if I'm still working this 9-to-5 job. What exactly would I do if I had to? I had no choice. I had to quit my 9-to-5 job and my life depended on it. I'm going to show you. Now, all it would take me is 60 days. Honestly, I've shown you guys how to do it in way less than that, but we're going to keep it to 60, keep the numbers realistic, okay? So now I'm just going to talk about what we'll be covering in this section. So first and foremost, outreach principles. Guys, do not sleep on the principles. The timeless outreach principles and strategies that you could apply in any client getting scenario. Next is where to actually find clients. This is called prospecting. Which social media platforms are your ideal clients on and exactly how to use them to generate leads. Next, we're going to be talking about new outreach methods, new templates, demonstrations, and case studies that are going to show you the best outreach methods that are working right this second. Next, we're going to talk about looking legit online. Super important, guys. How to use your experience to not only look legit on your profiles, but also in your outreach as well. The funny thing is with copywriting is that everybody knows the steps. The secret is actually doing all of the steps because there's a whole bunch of steps that people think that they don't have to do. Guys, don't ask, oh, well, what can I get away with not doing? Just do all the stuff, man. It's really that simple and you will win. So here's how we actually know this is going to work. Like I always have to do, I have to back up everything that I say with results. As you can see, people are still getting results with copywriting, huge results. Okay. We go through these. Have been quiet for a while, landed 2 clients. And as you can see, a whole bunch of W's right here. Henry with the 10K plus per month. Rohan, he's at 14K per month, 11,000 pounds. Isaiah with the 23K per month, some wins there. Abby talking about how she made 2.3K with copywriting just from the YouTube stuff. 5K win right there. Just secured a 2K a month deal on a 12-month contract plus bonuses / commissions, and it can be negotiated. They actually literally sent him a MacBook Pro and some other stuff just for being on their team as payment. And it was just for helping out with some email and SMS marketing. SMS marketing means texting. So Daniel also is talking about he's doing a sequence. So he's doing a $1,500 for a landing page plus a welcome email sequence. We're going to learn about sequences again as we go on in the secondary skills. So make sure you don't sleep on that. Again, guys, when you're looking through these wins, notice something that is sometimes not just about emails. It's also about other things like welcome sequences. And if you don't know how to do those, you're going to miss out on clients. So don't sleep on the secondary skills. And then another $1,500 for the same thing in her other coaching business. 3K deal right there, just like that. So remember, guys, if you're getting value so far, be a G, like the video because it's literally free. It's free. It costs you nothing except for probably 2 clicks. Minimize the video, like it, and then maximize the video again. Sorry, I guess that's 3 clicks. So if that's too much to ask, my bad. So here's what the 6-step process looks like. First, we find clients, we approach clients, we give them value, we call them up, we give them an offer, and then we close them. That's basically it in a nutshell. And of course, I'm going to in-depth explain every single portion of that. Warning, the things you learn in this section will be useless unless you have the skills to back up your outreach. Make sure you complete all action steps throughout the whole video. Guys, again, you need skills. And I know I keep harping on this, but if your copy is crap or you just skipped even making your first piece of copy and you want to just get clients, or you're wondering, hey man, why am I not getting any clients? And all you're doing is outreach and you're not actually practicing or building your skills, it's obvious. It's obvious. So outreach principles. Number 1, the oversaturation myth. Have to touch on this because I love explaining this. A common concern concern among beginners in every field, not just copywriting, every field, is oversaturation or too much competition. But in a skill-based business model like copywriting, those things are nothing to be worried about. And here is exactly why. First and foremost, there's too many people doing copywriting. All right, let's talk about this. Top line, the yellow one right there, is affiliate marketing. The red line right there is dropshipping. Again, this is Google Trends data. So essentially how many people are searching up each topic. What this tells us is how many people are actually talking about each one of these ways to make money online. The red line, dropshipping. The green line, day trading. And that, you see that little tiny blue line at the bottom? You probably can't even see it. You probably didn't even notice it until I pointed it out. That tiny blue line at the very bottom, that line right there is freelance copywriting. What does that tell us? That right there tells us, guys, oversaturation is nothing to be worried about. Copywriting is still one of the smallest or most unknown ways to make money online. It's literally a hidden gem. So now I want to talk about the size of the pie fallacy, understanding marketing size and how people think it is. People think that every single competitor you have literally takes food out of your own mouth, but that's not how it works at all. Guys, there are millions and millions and millions of businesses out here online that are hiring copywriters. Here's what competition feels like. And I understand competition feels like you as just the dude who's a stick figure and everyone else is just so good. Why wouldn't they just hire better people than me? Why wouldn't they just hire people with more experience? And then here's what competition can be like. It could be you, the ripped dude, against a whole bunch of people who ain't even doing nothing. Another reason why watching the whole video and completing all the action steps is crucial, because learning the skills is going to make you this bottom figure right here instead of this top figure right here. Now I want to go through a competition thought exercise. So if you're running a 100-meter dash and you're against 10 other Olympic athletes, you probably won't win. I mean, let's be honest. You versus 10 other Olympic athletes, I know I wouldn't win. However, instead of athletes, picture you're up against 10 3-year-old kids, toddlers. Chances are you're going to win. But the kicker is, it doesn't matter if you're against 10 or 10 million 3-year-olds, because the massive skill advantage you have. The takeaway, your competition may be plentiful, but not fierce. Most people are afraid of competing because they overestimate others and underestimate themselves. Tell me those are not bars right there. Guys, don't overestimate the competition. They might be plentiful, but they are not fierce. They are not crazy good. As I showed you, only 2% of people can even finish a video, man. So let alone actually write the copy, let alone actually outreach to clients. Like, there's way less people doing this and you really feel as though they are. 2, all you need is the right message in the right place at the right time. One outreach can change your life, and I'll show you that. So Aiden, for example, is closing a 1.5K per month deal with his 5th outreach, his 5th or 3rd, or like literally one of his first outreaches. Ethan had his profile set up. Someone messaged him, and now he's making 1.2K per high performing reel, now quitting his job 3 months into copywriting. He literally started copywriting in like March, and he quit in like June or April or June. It's like 3 months. That's it. So here's the proof. Also just sent out my highest copywriting invoice for $1,500, which means a total of $4,300 since my first paycheck in March. And I asked him a little bit more about it. He said, "Thanks, man. That's super kind. So I have one client. It was my 3rd outreach in January. I messaged a guy with a bunch of companies asking who does their email marketing and sales funnels, etc. He got back to me and said he needed a copywriter to write their social media posts and said they'd take me up on the free trial work I offered him. They loved what I'd done and offered me to start working with them. This is a software company for audio software, and I have a lot of knowledge for this. So essentially, I write their sales pages for their products and all non-user generated social media posts, those being singles, Instagram posts, carousels, and reels. I also write scripts for their YouTube videos. They have a social media manager who writes captions, etc. So my job is to deliver good sales/educational content using their products and CTAs to encourage customers to buy. That's basically it. It's my 3rd outreach in January, and he got that client. But then there's Ethan. Like I said, 1.2K for every high performing reel with no limit to the amount, and his goal is 50 a week. And he's in shock. It was the best B-Day gift ever. Again, this was on his birthday that he closed his client, and now he's going to be able to quit his 9 to 5. And guys, these are my private students that I work with one-to-one. So I've trained them to get here. But again, I'm literally showing them the same stuff that I'm showing you right now. I'm not gatekeeping anything. So guys, remember, number 3, slow is smooth and smooth is fast. Getting to your life-changing amount of money with freelance copywriting has little to do with how much time you have and everything to do with your efficiency of time. People all the time, they ask me this question, Tyson, but I have a full-time job, but I'm in college, but I have these other time management things. Guys, everybody has time constraints. Everybody, even the 16-year-old who is on summer break and is doing nothing but outreaching or nothing but copywriting, you might think that person, oh man, that person's gonna beat me because they have so much more time than me. It's really not about that. Like I showed you guys in the beginning, I had 3 jobs. My boys. I was working over 80 hours a week, every single week from my job, and then still getting it in with copywriting. How? Because I was efficient. Okay, I didn't procrastinate. I didn't wait. I didn't know that I should do something and then not do it. Think about it. Maybe I should do some more learning about it. No, I just actually did the thing. And yes, I was nervous. I was just as nervous, if not more nervous and scared than you are right now. But I just did it. I just closed my eyes. I just ripped it off like a Band-Aid, man. That's what you got to do. So ready, fire, and aim is always going to be greater than ready, aim, and fire. So to break that down, you just got to get ready and then you got to fire. Get ready and you got to fire. This video right here is your getting ready. Then after this, you got to fire. You got to take action. And then through the action you take, now you adjust. But what people want to do is they want to watch this video and they say, oh man, that was a great course. That took me like 10 hours to get through. Let me go look at the 4-hour one. Okay, I just did the 4-hour course. Okay, well, let me look at a few more videos. And then they watch videos. They haven't got the free copy starter kit to actually get all the resources. They haven't joined any of the free communities. They haven't written any pieces of copy before. They haven't outreached to anybody. They're not even actually trying. And they're just consuming because they're trying to aim and get it right before they fire. Guys, give yourself permission to suck. It's okay. You don't have to be great to start, but you have to start in order to one day be great. Moving on. Here we go. Tracking. Number 4. Tracking is one of the most overlooked multipliers to your outreach. It is insane. I'm going to show you how to do it as we go on. But again, tracking. Don't sleep on tracking. If you're not tracking, you're slacking. Often, just by tracking a metric is enough to bring attention to it and optimize by default. Start with tracking small things to build the habit. Then start tracking more as you continue. This will make your outreach process efficient. Guys, you don't have a business unless you track your numbers. If you don't track your numbers, essentially what you're hoping is to get lucky. You're hoping for a lottery ticket. You're hoping to get lucky one day and, oh yeah, this is awesome, I got a client. Not how it works. Okay, sometimes obviously it's how it works. I just showed you an example of a dude getting a crazy client on his 3rd outreach. And again, I'm training him now and I'm training him to get more clients. And I'm still like, look, man, you might have gotten a W, but we still got to lock in. We still got to get this money. We still got to get more of these clients. So what this essentially looks like is attempt number 1. This is what it looks like to not track. It's like you're literally playing blindfolded and you're shooting the shot and airballing. So what are you going to do next time? You're going to shoot the ball and you're going to airball because you're not going to understand how to adjust. Whereas tracking, you might miss the first time and miss the second time, but you're closer the second time. At least you hit rim. I mean, come on now. You got to be happy about hitting rim every once in a while. Sure, it don't count for 2 points, but it counts for something, right? You are not a copywriter. I can't understate this. You're not a copywriter. I can't overstate this. You're not a copywriter. You're a problem solver. It's always best to make businesses offers based on what they need rather than what you're good at. Guys, please, I'm telling you, if you're going to listen to any parts of this video, man, this is the one to really lock in. You got to write this stuff down. You got to know this stuff like the back of your hand. By positioning yourself as a problem solver, you'll gain more experience and close more deals. After we learn how to get more clients, I'll be going into excruciating detail on every service you can offer as a copywriter. As you can see over here, these past wins, these are content. These guys are getting these huge deals from content copywriting and other types of copywriting and email marketing. And I'm going to show you more as we go on. But again, a lot of it isn't just writing the words. Some of it is writing the words. You can still make money just by knowing how to write the words, but you don't want to just depend on being able to write the words. You want to have multiple skills because then you're irreplaceable. Then AI, again, can't touch you because, again, we talked about, won't AI replace copywriters? Well, no, it definitely won't right now. It's not going to hurt you. With skills, you will never be replaceable, but you'll also be able to easily replace other people. So as we're going on. So here's what a copywriter does. So a copywriter says, yo, man, I do emails. I'm the best at emails. And the client says, don't need you. Don't need emails right now. But a problem solver who gets way more deals and makes way more money does this. What you need, content, deal. It's really that simple. That's it. You ask them first what they need, and then they tell you what they need, and then you make your offer around that. It's so easy. It's so simple. We're going to talk about that more as we go over the sales call section. But again, that's basically it. Now, shout out to my boy Owen. Talking about him, and he actually got his retainer client. So closed him for $1,750. It's a monthly retainer. What it looks like is 12 emails, 4 YouTube scripts, and 30 tweets. This is, again, some email copywriting and then also some copywriting that's like content copywriting as well. He told me he gets outreach to all the time, but mine stood up because I led up with value. And again, I'm going to talk about how to actually give people value as we go on here. So this is another one from Ethan. He says he just got his referral from his first client. So his client said, Ethan, this is JD. He's a badass influencer, fitness influencer. He's looking for a simple yet professional looking funnel, a sales funnel. Again, we're going to talk about more sales funnel stuff. Again, just goes to show right here, he is getting referred to for a funnel, my friends. Okay. So again, copywriting, secondary skills, you learn all the secondary skills, you give people awesome results. I mean, this is already a client that Ethan's made thousands of dollars from, and now it's turning into another client. This is not all theory. I'm not just talking just to talk. Guys, this stuff actually happens. This is proof. These are my personal one-to-one students that I talk to every single day, and I've showed them how to get these results. And again, I'm showing you the exact same stuff that I'm showing them. And that referral has over 80,000 followers on Instagram. Man, stop playing with him. 6, people judge a book by its cover. Have the best cover and the best book. A lot of times people try to act as though those things are mutually exclusive when nothing could be further from the truth. If you're a great copywriter, you should have a great cover, meaning a great profile and a great portfolio. If you spend all your days marketing, selling products, you should be able to easily sell yourself because you are the product as a copywriter. Your first impressions and online social presence need to be dialed in. Otherwise, you're going to be repelling clients rather than attracting them. This is why looking legit online is so important. Scenario number 1, your client sees your outreach. You have an ugly profile. Your display picture is just blank, basically. You're Joe Scales or Tommy Scales. You have copywriter in your bio because, again, people just like to put Scales in their name because that's what I have, Tyson Scales. And then they just put like one photo of a random tree and it's just ugly. They're going to ignore you. On the other hand, if someone sees your outreach, they see a clear picture of your face, your name, marketing systems, meaning more than just copywriting. And then you have multiple different things on there like results from your past clients. You have reels talking about business. You have pictures talking about business advice. You have high value looking photos that show authority, and then some more of the other stuff, social proof, testimonials, that sort of thing. You have a great profile and then they're going to respond. This is how it works. Guys, people ask me all the time again. People ask me a lot, as you can tell. Tyson, should I build a website? Should I build a website to show my copywriting prowess? No, dude. Why would you do that? Bro, Instagram is your website. Instagram is your business card because you want to know why? They're going to check it regardless of if you even ask. If you have a website, first of all, you're going to have to spend all this time building a website from scratch. Who wants to do that? And building a website is a lot harder than an Instagram. Then you're going to have to send them some sketchy looking link that they're not going to want to click on. So you're going to do your outreach and then you're going to say, hey, also click on this link to go check out my website. They don't care about your website. They don't want to check it out. They already know Instagram. They want to use Instagram. They're already on Instagram. Again, you're adding friction when you're talking about a website. But when you optimize your profile, now you're taking all of that away and you're getting the benefits of a website. It's literally a win-win-win-win-win. Next is number 7. Always give before you ask. In order to work with business owners, it's likely you'll have to hop on a call with them. The only way that you can prove you're worth a business owner's time is if you provide with some sort of value first. Guys, understand this. To businesses and business owners, time is much more valuable than money. So you asking for their time to get on a call with them, they're not going to take that lightly. They don't just hop on calls with random dudes all day. It just doesn't happen. So you're going to have to prove that you are worth their time. How do you do that? You have to give them value upfront first. And this, my friends, is what differentiates us from everyone else, because everyone else, they focus on how can I send out 1,000 crappy emails per day to people asking them if they want my copywriting services. What we do is, hey man, I made you some emails. I made you some value already. Here it is. If you like this, let me know. We can hop on a call and talk about how we're going to get you some more wins. So much easier, dude. You're going to get so many more replies, so many more sales calls, so many more opportunities just because you're giving value first. And again, the better your value, the more calls and the more opportunities you're going to get. So by optimizing your skills, again, you're going to be able to get more clients. I cannot overstate this fact. Your skills are going to pay the bills. Gotta have some proof. Hi, Rista. Again, one of my private students. Usually I ignore all these kinds of emails. However, I appreciate the effort you put in. I'm happy to jump on a call to see if there's any way for us to work together. Best regards. And this guy is a huge business owner. He's a huge business owner. This is a gigantic opportunity for my copywriting student, Rista. And again, read between the lines here, okay? What he's saying is he gets emailed like this all the time. He gets outreach to all the time. And the business owners are going to pay you $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 every single month. You think they don't get outreach to already? Of course they do. The ones who actually win, how their outreaches stand out because it's high value. Number 8, you can't sell unless you understand them first. Have a genuine curiosity whether you can help them or not. Find out what they need and cater to it. You should be working every day to find out what business owners actually struggle with and how exactly they feel. Okay, so this one's huge. A lot of times when people get on sales calls with these businesses, they're going to be nervous. Let me tell you something. Literally, don't get on the sales call with the mindset of, oh my God, I have to get this sale. Oh my God, this could be my one big opportunity. This could be where I quit my job finally. That's going to do nothing but derail you and get you off track. What you want to do instead, you want to simply hop on the call with the curiosity of, hey, I want to figure out if I can help you or not. Get a really good understanding of what their goals are, what's holding them back, and how you can help them and what they're actually looking for. So again, I'll show you how to do that in the sales call section as we go further, but understand this point, okay? This point is extremely important. 9, 1 ounce of proof weighs the same as 1,000 pounds of promise, just like in copywriting. When outreaching, it's important to understand that over-promising is not going to make clients want to work with you. Oh my God, I can't. Again, another huge thing that beginner copywriters get wrong, and I'm going to show you why. It often accomplishes the opposite. This is part of the reason why it's important to practice your proof showing strategies first when writing your first pieces of copy. Guys, you going up to a business owner and saying, hey man, I'll work for you for free, or hey man, I'll work for you, I'll get you clients, or I'll get you money guaranteed. These things are making you look desperate and needy. And the worst thing you can do, the worst possible thing you can do is look desperate and needy, because nobody wants to work with anybody that's desperate or needy. It is repulsive. It is gross. I know it sounds harsh, but it's true. I'm trying to make you money here. I'm trying to get you rich, so I can't beat around the bush. That's just the long and short of it, okay? So when you are outreaching, you have to make sure that you're able to show proof that your stuff works. You're able to show proof, borrow authority from other people, get testimonials, show those testimonials, get results, show those results, and then 1 ounce of proof is going to weigh 1,000 pounds of promises. So you are going to have a much easier time closing more clients. Visual representation right here. Ounce of proof, 1,000 pounds of promise. So now it's time to pick a niche. And this is a super important part of the journey that a lot of people are going to get confused about. And let me tell you right now, this is something that I've tried for so long. I've tried and I've messed up on. I literally have picked niches and outreached to them for a month without even getting a single reply. And I wrote that niche off and I was like, all right, on to the next one. Like I went niche to niche to niche to niche to niche, and not like switching like every single day. Like you should never do that. But I legitimately like tried them all out for like a month or two, measured my results, and I know what the best niches are. I know what works. I know how to optimize around niches in general. And I'm going to show you exactly how to do that here. First and foremost, understanding niche is crucial to finding potential copywriting clients, but not in the way that most people think / will teach. Many amateur copywriters are taught by the gurus, the people who are like, bro, I know this niche when there's tons of people in it. All you got to do is pay me $1,000 and I'll show you what the niche is in my stupid course. Anyways, as you can tell, I don't take kindly to weird gurus. They're telling you that there's some magic niche that's going to make it easy to make money because it's untapped. Man, once I just started outreaching to this one niche, I started making all this money. Guys, the secret is not in the niche. This is backwards. Finding potential clients is much less about niche and more about qualifications. Who you outreach to matters more than how you outreach. So in this section, I'm going to show you exactly what your ideal client will look like, then how to hunt for them. What is going on, everybody? I hope you are locked and loaded and ready to get some clients today, because that's exactly what we're going to be talking about in this part of the free mega course copywriting video. So without any further ado, let's hop right into it. So as I was saying, picking a niche. So let's just go right through it. On the left, you have niches. This is how most people think of niches. On the right here, you have qualifications. Qualifications are always going to give you more bang for your buck than worrying about a niche. So many people get caught up in this. They start outreaching and then their outreaches aren't working and they're not getting clients. And then they say, well, but damn, what niche is best? I'm in the wrong niche. This niche doesn't work. Dude, it's not even your niche. A lot of the times you're just outreaching to people who don't have followers, they don't have engagement, or they don't have the right offer. They don't have any online offer. Like, you're not looking at the qualifications at all. You're just saying, this person has muscles, I'm going to outreach to them. This person talks about relationship stuff, I'm going to outreach to them. It doesn't work like that. And don't worry, we're going to get right into the weeds as we go on further, but hopefully you guys really understand that and are starting to grasp that concept. That it's not really just about health, wealth, and relationships. Sure, those are your main 3 niches, but that's not where the money is. That's not where you have to focus on. So here's the thing, right? There's no one niche that's more profitable or has more clients in it than another. It doesn't really work like that. It's more of which niches have the most opportunity, which all of them have opportunity, but who has the most qualified people to actually outreach to? So who has the followers, has the engagement, has the right offer, has the money, is farther along enough so that they can actually pay you this money, prospecting, where to actually find potential clients. I'm just going to talk about niches more as we go on. In this section, I'll be showing and demonstrating exactly where to find potential copywriting clients, and I'll be also providing a done for you perfect prospect example and leads tracking sheet. So stuff that you guys are going to be able to get, like actual resources, not just a free course, because yes, the free course and the free video is one thing. It's absolutely fire, but also things that you can literally use and just have in your back pocket, and like tools that you can use to help you along the copywriting journey, because I got you. If you're on this video, my number one goal is to just have you be successful, because again, your success is my responsibility. We're out here crushing it together. So let's get it. Niche optimization. So as stated in the principles section, niche is not the deciding factor of whether you can get clients or not. But here's a few that you can start with. So here's a long list, and here's an important note. So you're going to want to stick to 2 to 3 niches, okay? 2 to 3 things ideally that you're going to be outreaching to, 2 to 3 types of businesses. If you think you've quote unquote run out of people in your niche, you can either go through your leads list. Again, I'm going to give you a list or a list to fill out, and follow up or try different prospecting platforms. So if you're prospecting for people on Instagram, try YouTube. If you're on YouTube, try something else. Next is a try to pick some niches that you have background knowledge in. So this is part of the niches are nice to have, but they're not necessities. To figure out what niche a prospect is in, look at their offer. Examples coming up, and don't overthink this step. It should take you about 20 minutes to be like, all right, thought about it, niche. Like, honestly, like 5 minutes. Whatever niches is popping into your head where you're like, I should do one of these. Whichever one of these you like or know more about is what you want to go to. Now, there's a few things that I have to point out. First and foremost, like I said, niches are nice to have. So let's say you like cars, because I got this exact comment before. Tyson, I like cars. What niche should I go in? It does not work like that. The niche that you pick shouldn't just be one that you know about. Just because you know about it doesn't mean it's a good niche. You want to first pick a niche out of this list. All of these niches are niches that I know copywriters are making a lot of money in, okay? And then you want to pick ones that you preferably know about. And since I'm going to get the question all the time, I'm going to straight up tell you what niche I found my success in, what niche I actually used to start making money online with copywriting. And the niche was business to business coaching offers. I have a $10 million business, and I'm going to show you how to get your $100,000 a month business into a $1 million business. Or I'm going to show you how to take your $10K per month business and turn it into a $100,000 per month business. Those are what the offers look like. And they're usually done for you systems or coaching or agencies or things like this, or also real estate coaches and that sort of thing. So that's where I found my quote unquote success in. But don't be the dude who's going to go, oh, well, I know because I was the exact same. This dude won. This guy over here just said he closed a $3K a month client. I'm going to ask him what niche he's in, and whatever niche he says in the world, I'm just going to go right into that niche. This is called niche hopping. You don't want to niche hop. You don't want to start outreaching to one type of business and another type of business the next day and another type of business the next day, because first of all, it's going to mess up your tracking. In order to have tracking, in order to know your numbers, you have to stick with one thing for at least, I'm talking about at least a month consistently. So outreach one way at least a month consistently, and now you're going to have what's called a control. Okay, I outreach for a whole month and got, let's say 5 replies. Now, if I outreach for another month, I'm curious to see if I can beat 5 replies and get 7, maybe 10, maybe 20 if I either do another niche, I do another outreach method, or I find the client's meaning prospect in a different way. Now, the other thing to know about niches is that some of them are kind of complicated and complex. So you're probably not going to know much about business to business, because I know that I didn't. And the first time I wrote for a business to business client, I was so confused. I had no idea what I was doing, and I kind of bombed a little bit because I didn't know about business, leads, free lead magnets, all this other really high level marketing and sales stuff. I didn't know anything about that. But I also got to learn while I was on the job. So remember, copywriting is a great way that you can learn and earn at the same time. But now that I eventually did understand business, which took me a few months to do, now I had kind of like a blue ocean, not actually a blue ocean, but beginners also couldn't speak the language of business. So I was safer, right? So it was actually something that was harder to get into, but more profitable. And you'll notice that a lot of quote unquote niches are like that. They're harder to get into, or they're more profitable, or they're easier to get into, but they're less profitable or less easy to make money with. That's kind of how it is. So by all means, don't overthink this step. It's really not that deep. Also, niches are nice to have because if you're writing for fitness coaches and exclusively fitness coaches, who are you going to be a better writer for? Fitness coaches or business coaches? Obviously fitness, right? You're going to want to keep with the fitness. You already know the pain points. You already know the research. You already know the language and the terms that people use. Whereas if you're just switching around from niche to niche to niche to niche, it's going to take you a little bit longer to find your voice and research for said niche. So niches are nice to have, but if you have a business to business client or a finance client and you have an opportunity with the fitness guy, you're not going to say no. You're going to do the copy anyway. Like I've done copy for some really weird niches and from some really weird businesses, like holistic people who are like over the age of 40 who want to live a better life and just improve their health holistically without using any medications. Like I've written for those companies, and yes, it was weird because I had to do a lot of research, but again, copywriting is copywriting. Once you understand how to do the research, you start to get into the flow of it. Now you know how to actually write for that business and for that niche. So niche, as you can tell, is a big topic when it comes to copywriting, but it's not as important as most people think. So I basically just gave you everything that you need to know. And now I'm also going to be hooking you up with the done for you perfect prospect examples. So as you can see, as I open up this link, essentially what it's going to give me is a whole list of people that you can essentially like go to and outreach to. So here's what it looks like. I go across people, I find them right here, and then I open it up and boom. Now I came across someone who is a quote unquote perfect prospect. Now these aren't actually perfect prospects, but they're people who pass. She has followers. She has an optimized bio. She's a career coach. You can clearly tell that. She has a link over here. And in her links, you can see that she has master classes, 10x your personal brand. Let's go check out this one. 10x your personal brand. Then you can register. And as you can see right here, it's asking you for your first name. It's asking you for your email address so that you can get on her email list. So as you can see, in 2 seconds, I qualified her. I saw that she's getting views over here. She's getting views. She's getting engagement. That's good. She has traffic. She also has wins. She has testimonials. So people are winning. She is a coach. She has links, and she also has an email list, and she has a webinar where she collects emails. So basically all the boxes are checked off right there, every single part of them. So guys, that is a whole leads list example. There's literally dozens of prospect examples in there. If you want to go check them out for yourself, again, all resources are in the copy starter kit, and you can download that for free in the description whenever you'd like. So this is a kind of perspective change on niches that I think a lot of people should take into account. The truth about niches. My niche is 7 to 8 figure business owners who use copywriting to make more money in their business. That's basically it. That's the long and short of it. So here are the perfect prospect qualifications. So they need to have engaged followers, right? So sometimes on Instagram, people will purchase followers and they'll be bot followers. If you see anybody with 100,000 followers, but like 40 views on each reel, then that person's capping. Gets traffic from social media, has an online digital product, and they make money with copywriting because they either have email lists already, sales pages, or things like that. Now, there are also some other ways that you can gauge if people are good to outreach to or not. For example, are they running ads? Because pretty much anybody who's actually running ads and is profitable with ads can benefit from copywriting because ads are literally copy. You improve the ads, you improve the bottom line. You improve the back end of the ads, meaning their email marketing stuff, you improve the bottom line. You improve the sales pages or the opt-in pages, again, you improve the bottom line. So there's so many different ways that you can make more money when businesses are running ads. There's a whole ton of opportunity there. Okay, and now we're going to be talking about prospecting platforms, social media. What platforms and social medias can we actually find clients on? Now, important to note, you can find clients literally anywhere. Like throw a dart at a board of social media pictures or social medias and you'll just find one. It's not really that hard. I'm going to show you a couple of the main ones that I know that work and I know that I've used in the past and my students are using to this very day to close clients. And I'm going to show you exactly how to find businesses on those platforms. So guys, profitable online businesses are not difficult to find. They're not like hiding somewhere. They're right there out in the open promoting themselves on these social media brands. All you need to do is look for them in the places that they market in. That's basically it. So the main prospecting platforms we're going to talk about today are Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. So let's start with Instagram. So by the end, your tabs should look like this. So I like to prospect ideally on laptop or on desktop. You can do this on your phone as well. Now this picture is kind of hard to see because it's really small, but essentially it's just me having like a dozen tabs open of Instagram pages. That's essentially what you want to do. Right here, I come across an Instagram page. I actually got this guy from an ad, but what you can do to start off is you can just look for popular hashtags or look for the word business coach or look for the word, whatever word keyword is going to be relevant to your niche. So if it's finance, if it's health and fitness trainers, you would search up something like that, or marketing coaches, you can just search up. And once you find one good prospect, now you can do the method that I'm about to show you here. So as we can see, he has a blue check mark, which means he's verified. This is something that you can just buy, the blue check mark. So it's not really that deep, but it also just shows that, he takes himself as a professional and he's paying that whatever it is, $20 a month to get that blue check mark. He has around 20,000 followers, which is pretty good. It's all right. It's not crazy. 20,000 is all right. You want to make sure that they have at least over like 10,000 or more. You don't want people who are like 2,000 followers because again, they're not going to be able to pay you because they're probably not making that much money already. And then as you can see from his bio, it's optimized. So that's why it's in the green box. Everything in the green box is like good. Those are things that you're going to want. He has multiple client results and multiple highlights on his page. And then he actually has good amount of views as well, 22,000. 30,000, 200,000, but he also on the rest of his page has just kind of all right views, like 800, 1,500. So my best guess is that some of these followers could have been purchased, and he has a few reels that popped off, but a few that didn't. Overall, I would still say that he's somebody who's worth outreaching to, but just keep that in mind because when you're going through these Instagram accounts, you have to on your own decide whether people are good enough to outreach to or not. All we're going to do now that we've outreached to him or we followed him, or we decide we want to outreach to him or he's a prospect that we're going to talk to, we're going to want to press this little button right here. So this little button essentially is going to bring up a whole bunch of other Instagram accounts that are suggested for you. These are a whole bunch of other people who are related somehow, some way to the person's profile that you're on right now. And this is big because essentially you can just go through and prospect and prospect and prospect and prospect and find person after person after person after person who is a suitable client for you to outreach to. So that's how you do Instagram. It's really, really that simple. Another way you can get clients on Instagram or just find them is once you interact with enough of these accounts, like you follow enough of them, you like their posts, you comment on them. Now you're going to get ads. You're literally going to get Instagram to feed you different prospects who are in that exact same niche. Okay. So once you're able to do that, you're essentially able to program Instagram to do the prospecting for you. So you can just scroll through your feed, you see ads, and every time you see an ad, you have to interact with that ad as well. And every time you see things that you don't want to come up on your Instagram, whether it's not related or it's just stupid memes, you can actually click on these three buttons on their account and just click not interested or click don't show this profile again. And Instagram will get the hint to program your algorithm with only the things that you want. So that's a little hack for you as well. YouTube prospecting demonstration. We come across a perfect prospect. Now, again, this guy's a real estate guy. All you have to do is search up in the YouTube bar how to make money with real estate. Now, the things to take into account when it comes to YouTube is that YouTube views are a lot higher quality than Instagram views. So if someone got 100,000 views on Instagram, but someone's getting consistently 10,000 views on YouTube, the person who's getting 10,000 views on YouTube is probably making more money because YouTube has more viewers that actually buy because people go to YouTube to actually learn things, to do things. So as you can see, he has an optimized bio with a link in it. That's a good thing. He also has it's pretty much a video sales letter, but it's like an opening video on his YouTube. So his YouTube is optimized for people to come across it and to actually go into his marketing funnel. Then we go down here to the actual link. And as you can see, he has a free training to make money on Airbnb now. What is that free training? Of course, you go to the page and ask you for your name and email. What does that mean? It means he has an email list, which he's making money from, and he needs somebody to write emails for that email list. Okay, my friends, again, this is very, very easy stuff. And while you're going through here, like I'm saying, you want to sign up to all of these lists as well. So what you want to do, okay, is you want to create a brand new email address. And this is going to be your swipe email address. Okay, you don't want to sign up to a whole bunch of lists with your main email address. Trust me, I know from experience, because you're going to get bombarded with marketing emails from all of these guys. And then your inbox is essentially going to be nuked. So what you want to do instead is you want to create a whole brand new email address. And with that email address, sign up to every single one of these lists so you can see what they're doing. You can see the emails that they're putting out. You can see if the emails can be improved, and then you can outreach to them. So that's what that looks like. And then also you can find their email from the about page on their YouTube. As you can see, channel details, it's just going to say click to verify or something. But then you can actually see it's info at whatever the username or whatever the website is right there, the URL.com. And then that's it. And then I have another one here for you guys, Charlie Barber. As you can see, optimized stuff right there. And then inside of his links, he says, let's scale your agency today. So that's where you can actually book a call with him, do Instagram, and he also has a school community. So as you can see, he has products right there as well. And that's another thing, guys. You want to outreach to people who have products. You can't outreach to people who only have like affiliate links. Okay. So if in their links, all they have is, hey guys, here's a product. You can get 10% off if you use my code. And that's all they have to make money. Then those are not the people you want to outreach to. You only want to outreach to people who have their own business, who have their own products, whether it be an online info product or their own mentorship type of product, which is what this guy's selling here. As you can see, anything that says book a call, it's a sales call essentially. It's a sales call. So once you get on this call, he's going to close you so that he can teach you how to scale your agency from $100,000 a year to $1 million a year, something like that. And those sorts of offers are, again, usually like $6,000, $8,000, or like the other example that I showed at the very beginning of this course, $10,000 for dudes who are doing like real estate coaching and business coaching and so on and so forth. I think the highest amount of money that I've seen personally, who I've worked for, is someone who sold $15,000 to $20,000 packages. And again, it was a business coaching program. Now, as you can see, as we scroll down here, he has this school community that's called Agency Start. And as you can see, this one's a paid one. Again, mine are all free. This guy decides to do his paid. He has 343 members at $85. So right there, he's doing $30,000 a month just from his community here. Not to mention, a lot of the people who are in this community are actually deciding to book a call with him and go into his high ticket program. So he's probably making at least $60,000, if not $100,000 per month, but he could be making more, again, if he was working with you. Now we're going to be talking about TikTok prospecting. And then of course, we're going to be talking about how to actually outreach to all of these people and get them as your client now that we've found them, or now that we've decided how to find all of these potential people. So this girl's name is YDA. I'm going to assume that means Yada, maybe. And she has an optimized bio and she has really good views as well. These people on TikTok are going to have tons of really, really good views, but usually their back end setup, meaning their programs and their marketing funnel, is really, really, really weak and can be improved. So we're going to go down here. We can also see that she has a program called the Content Accelerator. Learn how to 10x your views and scale on TikTok by using a foolproof blueprint. As you can see, you open that up. When it says something like this, I'm planning to train 100 people, that is a telltale sign. It is a high ticket business model, a high ticket program, meaning again, she's going to probably charge you a good $5,000 or more. And then through TikTok, as you can see right here, you can literally see her email. You can also message her on Instagram as well. I highly recommend to actually message people or outreach to them on Instagram or on email. Even if you find them on YouTube or even if you find them on TikTok, you're going to want to probably outreach to them on those two platforms. And also just to note, this is her sales page and her sales page has copy on it. It looks like it was just written by her. So any one of you guys, of course, if you've written copy long enough and you understand copy, you can actually improve her sales page. And now every person who comes to her TikTok and clicks on this link, more of them are going to buy because the sales page is better. So guys, pro tip, although it may be tempting, don't just prospect in one spot long term. A big mistake I see is people outreaching for months only on Instagram. Okay. So what you're going to want to do is just outreach on one platform for a month and then get that one platform down. And then after that, after probably a few days or weeks, you're going to want to start slowly implementing another prospecting platform. Because essentially, if you double your channels, you're doubling your chances to actually get more clients. And then here's a bonus method called Apollo.io. Apollo.io is a Google extension, meaning you can go to the store on your Google Chrome browser and download it. And essentially what it helps you do is it helps you get people's email. So as you can see, this is essentially what it looks like. All you have to do is find their LinkedIn account. Once you find their LinkedIn account, you can use Apollo.io. It will automatically pop up in the corner and then you can go and view their email. Now, this is super easy to do. I'm not going to give a tutorial about it because the software is going to give you a tutorial when you download it. But if you're running into problems like, okay, I don't know where to find this person's email, then this is a great way to do it as well. Okay, my people. And now we're going into outreach methods. So you found your target, you found your prey, but how do we actually go in for the kill? How do we go and get people to get on sales calls with us so that they can potentially give us their money? So first and foremost, we have to understand some principles on how we want to make our potential clients feel. And this is super important. A lot of people go about outreach haphazardly, which means they just go out there and do it. So there's usually two types of people who fail forever when it comes to outreach. One is the type of person who just post and praise. So they go to Fiverr, they go to Upwork, they create their account, they tell everybody they're a copywriter who's super eager to start business, and they set their price super low thinking that that's going to get them a bunch of clients. Well, and then what happens is nothing. Crickets, nobody comes to their account, and then they're like, well, that copywriting thing didn't work, so I'm gonna just move on. That's the first type of person. The second type of person is the type of person who only focuses on spamming out as much outreach to as many people as possible. So they come up with some sort of weird software trick where they can outreach to 100 people, 300 people per day. And essentially their outreach looks like, hey, how's it going? I'm a copywriter. I can make you so much more money. And here's where you can go to click to book a call. Nobody is ever going to pay you $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 a month for doing that. That is garbage. Okay. In this video, I'm going to show you how to outreach properly. Okay. This is the reason why all my students are literally getting fat W's every single day, changing their absolute lives. So here's how we actually want to make potential clients feel. Number one, they're the only one I'm talking to. Two, you are a consumer of their content. Three, you're curious about whether you can help them or not, but not over promising. And four, you're using the give back principle. Those are the main things. So let's get into it. So number one, the only one I'm talking to. What do I mean by this and how to actually use it? So this is important because first and foremost, it builds trust. People are more likely to trust someone who has taken the time to understand their specific needs and business. Personalization shows that you care about their unique situation. It also increases engagement. More people are going to want to reply to you when you make it look like they're the only one that you're talking to. Now, the best way to do this is to add a lot of personalization. If you are outreaching to tons of people, it's super obvious because their stuff sounds super generic. It would work for anybody. Their outreach message to you would work for anyone. And trust me, guys, I'm a business owner myself. I get outreach to on a daily basis, dozens and dozens of times through my Instagram and through my emails. Most people's outreaches are terrible. If you just come across and do the things that I'm showing you here, then it doesn't matter how many people have outreach to that specific prospect, yours is going to be better and it's going to be a breath of fresh air. Just like all the examples that I've already shown you and the examples that I'm about to show you in a moment. Personalized messages are more likely to be read and responded to. When someone feels special and valued, they are more inclined to engage with your message. It also shows your professionalism. I don't want to work with somebody who looks like they're outreaching to hundreds of people because it makes them look desperate. It demonstrates that you are professional and serious about your offer. Mass emails can come off as spammy and unprofessional, whereas personalized messages reflect attention to detail. Next is that it creates a connection. Personalization helps establish a connection with the recipient. It shows that you've done your homework and are genuinely interested in working with them. All super important things. So how do we actually do this? Number one, we have to research the prospect. Spend time learning about the company and the person you're trying to contact. Look at their website, social media profiles, recent news, or any content that they've published. Next, you want to actually use their name. Use their name in your messages. Always address the recipient by their name. Avoid generic greetings like dear sir / madam or to whom it may concern. Reference specifics. Mention something specific about their business, such as a recent achievement, a product launch, or a blog post that they wrote. This shows that your message is tailored to them. Okay, all super important things. Another thing that I want to show you, this perfectly encapsulates the lesson that I just told you guys about. So this is the inferior way to go about it. Lots of little tiny small gifts or small messages to lots and lots and lots of potential clients. So this is what it looks like to have many small gifts. But this is what it looks like to have a few big gifts. Now you're giving 3 big gifts to each and every single one of your perfect prospects. And as you can see, you are going to get way, way, way more opportunities. And this is also another huge reason why, again, being great at your skills and being able to provide great gifts to your prospects is going to put you ahead of the game. Because a lot of people feel as though it has to do with some sort of secret, but it's really not. The better you are, the better your copy is, the better your understanding of marketing is, the better your outreach will be. And outreach isn't just a numbers game. Outreach is a skills game. Okay. There's a reason why I got to the point in my copywriting journey at month 8 to 9 where I could close a client whenever I wanted. I knew that if I didn't have a client or if one of my clients didn't work out and I had to drop them, that I would be able to get a client in a month because my outreach was just amazing. And the thing is that I can't just tell you how to make your outreach amazing. I can't just give you a template. Of course, I'm going to give you templates and scripts that you can go off of because they give you the ideas to use, but you have to create it yourself. You have to burn your own brain calories. You have to understand that you copying someone else or copy and pasting something is going to be disadvantageous to you because you're going to be sending out a message that everybody is going to be sending out. So if you're sending out something that your prospect has already seen, let's say you have this script and this prospect has seen the script 5 times today already. Do you think that they're ever going to want to work with you? Even if the script is good, even if it's banger, but it looks just like everybody else's, boring. Nobody's going to want to work with you. So make sure you innovate, make sure you're different, make sure you work on your skills, and make sure you give a lot of value to every single prospect when you outreach to them. And of course, I'm going to show you how. So next, we want to look like we are a consumer of their content already. This builds credibility because by showing that you're familiar with their content, you demonstrate that you've done your homework and you understand their brand voice. This is huge. This builds credibility and trust. Guys, one of the biggest reasons why a lot of businesses are hesitant to bring on new copywriters is because a bad copywriter can ruin your messages and ruin your leads. A lot of people are of the thought that, why don't I just work for this person for free and then there's no risk to them. So if I go up and offer my work for free, then that means that they're going to want to work with me because they have zero risk. No, they have tons of risk, even if you work for somebody for free, because if you write them bad copy, it's going to ruin their brand, ruin their reputation, ruin their leads, and actually set them back. It could possibly cost them tens, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars if you mess up their copy, because essentially he's messing up their whole business. By showing that you're a consumer of their content, you show that you can match their brand voice. You know what their brand stands for, so they don't have to handhold you. They don't have to babysit you through every single step of the way. It also shows genuine interest. It indicates that you are genuinely interested in their business and not just looking for any client. This makes them feel valued and appreciated. It also enhances the personalization. Referencing their contact allows for deeper personalization in your outreach, making your message more relevant and engaging. And then finally, it establishes a common ground. Consuming their content helps you find common ground and better tailor your proposal to their needs and goals. It fosters a sense of connection and alignment, meaning you're going to be more able to give them an offer that's actually relevant to them after you're on the sales call. So how do we actually do it? First and foremost, we want to follow them on social media. I'm going to show you a bunch of examples, like literally the screenshots of me and my students, my one-to-one students closing copywriting clients, like the actual screenshots of us doing it. And you're going to see that it's clear that we follow them, and it's clear that we keep up with their personal brand and that we follow up with them over the long term based on the things that they're doing. And of course, I'm going to show you how to do that, but super, super, super important to follow them on social media and keep up to date with everything that they're doing. So follow their social media profiles and engage with their posts by liking, commenting, and sharing. This shows active interest and engagement. Next, we want to actually watch their videos. Watch videos they've posted on platforms like YouTube or their website and mention specific points or segments that stood out to you. I can always tell when people have watched my stuff or not, because here's something really funny. People come to my Instagram, right? And my Instagram is like smaller. My Instagram is probably like 40,000 followers at the time of this recording. And people outreach to me on Instagram. They're like, hey man, it looks like your brand is really on to something. You could actually hit it big soon. Or, hey man, maybe I could help you reach 7 figures one day. Say, bro, I'm already well in. I've been doing 7 figures, bro. I've been having a huge personal brand. The thing is that you just have never seen my YouTube before because you were just outreaching to everybody and you haven't actually done any research on me. And as soon as I feel like someone hasn't done any research on me, they're not actually serious with their offer, I just bounce or I just don't even reply. This is why people ghost you. This is why you're going to get left on scene so much, is because your outreach looks sloppy and it looks lazy. But when your outreach actually looks intentional, changes the game, dude. Trust me, changes the game. You also need to subscribe to their email newsletter. Subscribing to their email newsletter and refer to specific topics or tips that they've shared. And this shows that you're keeping up with their updates. All super, super important. And next, we need to talk about curious, but not promising. So just like the rule we talked about in copywriting, the thing with being curious with people is that it builds trust, but it also does it in a way that isn't going to make you come off as scammy or like a scammer. So another huge misconception that beginner copywriters have is that, oh, if I just promise them that I'm going to save their business, I'm going to 10x their revenue, the bigger the promise, the more they're going to want to work with me. Well, business owners are more skeptical and sophisticated than your average person. So they're going to look at your big promises and they're going to write them off as, nah, this dude's just talking out of his behind. Okay, that's literally what they're going to think. So in order to properly offer our value without promising, we have to come from a point of curiosity base. So it looks like this. Hey man, I made you this, or I came up with some ways that could possibly help with making more money, or could possibly add more revenue to your bottom line, or could possibly decrease your costs for ads and increase your return on your ad spend. Because here's the thing, businesses are much more likely to give you a chance if you come from that angle rather than just coming from the big promises angle, because they get promised stuff every single day. And if you're somebody with no past experience and you're out here promising people that you're going to double their whole revenue, this obviously makes you look like a big fat liar, because that's essentially what you're being. And then also, not to mention, most business owners don't need you to come in and save their business or come in and make them hundreds of thousands of dollars. A lot of them just want to optimize their stuff. If you can just increase their stuff by 10%, make a small bump in whatever they're doing, or just help them, that's basically all they need. Like I've showed you before, I've literally helped clients make tens of thousands of dollars per sale. So I get them a couple more sales here and there. That's basically it. It's really not that deep. Okay. That's the main thing that I want you guys to take away from that. It also encourages dialogue when you're like this. Okay. So by asking questions and expressing your curiosity, you invite the prospect to share more about their business and challenges. This can lead to a more meaningful perspective and conversation. It's also not advantageous to you to start making all these promises when you don't know what they want yet. So if you're promising like more sales, maybe they're not looking for more sales. Maybe the more specific thing is they're looking for more return on their ad spend, or maybe they're looking for more email signups. You have to know what they're looking for first before you can really know what to focus on when you're talking about promises or benefits to your offer. It also reduces pressure, reduces sales pressure, okay? The prospect often resists hard sell tactics, and this is super huge. The people that you're going to be outreaching to, they are salesmen themselves. They're marketers and they're salesmen. They know when they're being sold to. They know the tactics you're using. You might think that you're slick because you just learned this stuff yesterday, but dude, they've been doing this for years. They've been doing this for years longer than I have, for decades. Okay, so don't use any of these weird sales tactics on them, because they're going to see right through them. It also shows professionalism, because a thoughtful, inquisitive approach demonstrates your professionalism and thoroughness. It shows that you're not just sending mass emails, but genuinely interested in finding a mutual fit. Mutual fit is the biggest thing as well. We're going to talk about this more when I talk about what to actually say when you get on the sales call. But the angle you want to go for always is, I want to see if we'd be a good fit to work for together in the future. That's it. I want to work on a small project to see if we'd be a good fit, because you are qualifying them just as much as they are qualifying you. So here's how to do it. Before reaching out, gather as much information as possible about the prospect's businesses, challenges, and goals. This will help you ask relevant and insightful questions. Next, you want to ask open-ended questions. Frame your outreach with questions that encourage the prospect to share their experience and needs. Open-ended questions are more engaging and can also reveal valuable information. And then of course, we want to actually express genuine interest in what they're doing as well. Show that you're genuinely interested in their business and how you might be able to help. This can be done through thoughtful comments and specific observations about their business. So for example, hey, I see you're running this promotion right now, and I got this email sequence. Do you think that if we improve the email sequence that we can make more sales on the back end? And if they say, yeah, I think that we could do that, then you could just send them over some emails for free. Then they get the emails, they're like, wow, these are awesome. We got to have you on the team. Obviously, it might not go like that word for word, but this is the concept that we're going to be providing here. Okay, this is the give back principle, which we're going to be learning more about as we go on. But by providing value up front and doing this whole system that I'm showing you here, this is how we're going to separate ourselves from everybody, because nobody is doing this. Nobody wants to do this, and nobody is actually good at doing this, because it shows your skill before you actually get the client. Okay. So again, it's a skill-based game. It's literally you versus you. This is why I love copywriting so much, because it doesn't depend on some stupid algorithm. Right? I don't want to depend on some TikTok algorithm to make money, to make sales. I don't want to depend on some YouTube algorithm. I also don't want to depend on some product, some other product with drop shipping or some day trading stuff, some crypto stuff that's just going to go up and down. Copywriting is literally you versus you. That's why I love it. And it also helps you avoid big promises. And you're going to want to avoid big promises. Instead of making a grandiose promise, focus on how you could potentially solve specific problems to improve their business. This approach is more believable and credible. Now we need to talk about the give back principle, or the thank you economy. We live in a thank you economy. People don't buy unless you give first. Okay, so this is a huge reason as to why a lot of the biggest businesses you see, they give out tons of free value, kind of like I'm doing right now. I'm going to talk about that a little bit more as we go on. So here's how it works. Okay, it builds trust and goodwill. Offering something valuable for free helps establish trust and goodwill. It shows potential clients that you're genuinely interested in helping them and not just in making a sale. Super important. It also demonstrates expertise. Providing free and valuable content or services showcases your expertise and gives the clients a taste of what you can offer. This can be more persuasive than a pitch or advertisement. It's always more persuasive than a pitch or an advertisement. It also creates a sense of obligation. This is huge. Okay, I call this the feeling of reciprocity. Whenever you do something good for somebody, they want to do something good for you back all the time. So according to a psychological principle of reciprocity, people feel compelled to return favors. When you give someone something valuable for free, they are more likely to feel obligated to give you a chance in return. It also makes you stand out from the competition, and it also shows that you're very, very hungry. Many businesses focus solely on selling. By giving first, you differentiate yourself and create a positive impression that can set you apart from your competitors. Remember, we talked about saturation and how it feels like you're up against so many people who are just level with you, but really it's not like that at all. The reason why I could get a client at any time, literally any time I wanted to, is because all I have to do is make someone some banger emails or some other banger value that I'm going to show you guys how to do, give it to them, and they're going to want to work with me. And not just like a free trial or not just like a small project. Like they're going to be like, all right, right off rip, let's start with $3,000. That's basically all the clients that I've worked with before. I very rarely worked with a client where I did a free trial for a little while, or I did like a $500 project and then started getting paid $2,000, $3,000. The clients that actually paid me the retainers, the $3,000 a month out of the gate, that's what they paid me out of the gate, because my value that I provided up front was already doing the talking for me. That was already my free trial period. That already built the trust that I needed to make that money with them. So, and those are my personal examples of the give back principle, but there are also others. So this free channel that you're watching right now, I uploaded free 4-hour copywriting courses, free 2-hour copywriting courses, and also free courses on every single small detail that has to do with copywriting, sales funnels, outreach, AI copywriting. I mean, literally the list goes on. This is a huge discography of just nothing but free courses. And literally nobody is putting out as much free content as me, which is why the YouTube channel is blowing up, the business is blowing up, and it also is just huge in every other single way. So again, you're going to want to give out free value. This is my personal philosophy. I believe that you should give out everything for free, even your best stuff for free, and just sell the implementation. That's basically it. But of course, how do we actually do this? What are the steps? First and foremost, we offer free, valuable content. Share insights, tips, or content in the form of sample emails, video audits or looms, which we're going to be talking about, or sales pages, example sales pages. And then you follow up with more value. See, the thing with follow up, again, you're going to have to keep messaging these people and messaging them, is that nobody can get mad at you for following up with more free value. It just doesn't happen. So after the initial free offering, follow up with additional resources or advice from a different angle. This much value helps build relationships and keeps you top of mind. We're going to talk more about top of mind and follow up as we go on, but that's where it is right there. So now I want to touch on the universal outreach structure. What is going on, everybody? It is your boy Tyson 4D and the 4D Kitty here, coming back at you with a new free mega course installment. So you already know what we came to do. So without any further ado, let's get right to it. So as you can see, we're talking about the universal outreach structure. And it essentially goes like this. We start with the opener, we go to the offer, the value, and then we give the value, and then we pitch the call. Okay, simple enough. So first, we're going to start about talking with the openers. So openers are the first point of contact you have with a potential client, and they set the tone for the entire interaction. So they are critical because they determine whether the recipient will continue reading or simply dismiss your message. Here's an in-depth look at why openers are important, how they work, and the examples of effective openers. And openers slightly vary depending on the outreach method. So for example, when you're doing openers through Instagram, you essentially just want to get the reply. You don't want to pitch anything. But when it comes to email, you're going to want to have an opener and an offer of value in the very first email, both of them, usually. This is essentially because DM is more of a back and forth, whereas email is more of like, you don't send emails back and forth over and over with people. As soon as you just send an email, and then a couple of hours later, they get back to you with another email, and then you just go right to the call. It's a lot shorter of a conversation. So here's how openers actually work. So number one, we want to be attention grabbing, as attention grabbing as possible. And the biggest thing that's going to be attention grabbing is it going to be different. Okay. It has to be different. This is the biggest thing you're going to hear me say when it comes to outreach, is that your outreach has to be different and better. If your outreach is different and better, that's essentially all that you need. So openers should immediately grab attention. This can be achieved through curiosity, a bold statement, or a question that piques their interest. Next is relevance. The opener should be relevant to the prospect. It should show that you've done your homework and understand their needs or interests. It needs to be relevant. It needs to be personalized. It also needs to be brief. Keep it short and to the point. Long-winded openers can overwhelm the reader and cause them to lose interest. The worst thing that I see people do is make these huge emails or huge DMs is the first message that they send people. They're not even going to get read. So people's inboxes are already full. Your inbox is probably already full. I have literally like over 5,000 unread emails in my email inbox, and that's how theirs are too. So you want to be as concise as possible. That's super huge. So the perfect opener formula, I call it the PDCW, and it's what you can use to craft perfect openers every single time. And this is not outreach method specific, but we're going to get outreach method specific as we go on. So number one is personalize. Instead of to whom it may concern, use their first name. Instead of saying your product, say the name of their product, etc. Again, make sure that you look like you did your research. You look like you actually know them. Remember the feelings that we're trying to give them when we're outreaching to them. Next is detailed. Add in a specific detail that will make them feel like you're a long-time consumer of their content. Hey, I know you're probably busy training your dog Spot right now. This is one example that I use where people have used it on me where they're like, yo, Tyson, I know you're probably busy driving your Corvette right now, or I know you're probably busy crafting that free mega course that you said you were doing on your story. These are things that show that they've actually looked into my brand and they know it. Or you can say something like, hey man, I've been watching you ever since, and then go back to one of their old videos, actually watch it, like legitimately watch it, and just say, I've been watching you for a long time. Or another thing that I always love to do is when I'm creating a video or talking to them on a video, like it's a video intro DM or a Loom video, which you guys are going to learn about more as we go on. I like to show my inbox, and it is proof that I've been following them for a long time. So if I show my inbox and it shows that I've been following them since like 2022, then that's proof. I don't have to say, yo man, I've been a long time watcher. I can say, hey man, I've been subscribed to your email list for the last 2 years, and these are some things that I've noticed. Right there, it tells them that I'm not new to this. Like right there, I can't fake it. Like their actual emails are in my inbox from that long ago. So I'm a long time viewer, long time watcher, and I'm proving it. Next is that you have to come off as curious. So add some intrigue in your outreaching and avoid making the prospect feel like they know what you're going to say already. So you wouldn't say, hey, I have a way that I can fix your headline on your sales page that will make you more sales. You essentially want to say, hey, I have a few tweaks to your funnel that could potentially increase profits. Now, it's a little bit more vague, the second way that I said it, but that's what you want. You want it a little bit more vague. You don't want it super detailed of what you're going to do and what you're going to show them and what the offer and the value is going to be, because essentially that is just going to make them feel like they already know what you're going to do. We want to have some curiosity in it. The thought we want them to have is, I wonder what this guy's talking about. Sure, I'll be open to seeing what he has to say. Next is to be witty, and this one's huge. Being witty adds a human element to your openers, making it clear that you're not using software or an AI bot. Super important, because a lot of people do the whole thing where they're like, oh man, I send 1,000 outreaches a day, but they're all dookie outreaches. They're not personalized. They're not good. They're all trash. And it's basically like, hey, I'm a copywriter. If you need copywriting services, DM me back. Terrible, dude. Terrible. If any of you guys ever do that, I'm telling you, that's going to get you zero results ever. And the next section is to offer value after we've made the opener and they have replied. So the reason we usually want to offer value instead of just giving it right off the bat is because we don't want to spend unnecessary time creating value for someone who won't even end up consuming it. So the reason why we don't just send out, free emails or free sales pages or free Loom videos or anything like this is because what if they don't even check their DMs? What if someone on their team checks their DMs? What if they literally just never check their DMs and you just create all this value for literally nothing? We don't want to do that. So we want to make sure that they're at least home first, meaning they check their stuff. There are many ways to offer value, but it's important to talk about the things your potential clients actually care about in order to get them interested in the value that you're offering them. Okay. And of course, I'll show you how to do that as we go on. So to give value, there's many different types of upfront value that you can give, which we'll go into, and I'll show you actually give you templates on how to do all that. Absolutely fire. But as we go on, possibly the biggest factor in whether you'll get clients or not comes down to this. This is another reason why perfecting your copywriting and marketing skills will always pay off in the long term. In the following sections in the free mega course, I'll be revealing how to create free value that's efficient, high quality, and attractive to clients. Okay, giving value or the value that you give is literally going to be the biggest determining factor of whether you get on these sales calls and start making money or not. It really comes down to this. And this is another reason why, copywriting is really all about skills. If you have terrible skills, it doesn't matter how much you outreach because your terrible skills are going to come through in the value that you give. If you're not great at copywriting and you say, hey man, I'm going to write you some copy for free, and you send it over to them, what's going to happen? Dude, they're going to be like, nah, this copy isn't very good. And they're going to ghost you after you send your free value. which happens very often. And a lot of the times it just tells you your free value wasn't that good, my friend. So after we give the free value and they love it because we've watched the whole free course, we've studied it, and we completed all the action steps, so our copywriting is better than average. Now we want to pitch the call. Once you've submitted your awesome value to the potential client, it's time to pitch the call. This is where people can get caught up and lose the lead because they're not ready for the next step. But this is why follow-up is so important. So oftentimes people will look at your value, they'll say, yeah, okay, it's great. And then you'll say, okay, let's hop on a call. And then a lot of the times here is where they might ghost as well. There's a few points in here where they might ghost. We're going to talk about what to do in each situation and how to follow up with them. But this is a big one. And a lot of people actually lose leads here. I'm going to show you how to not lose the lead when you're literally like 5 yards from the touchdown. So the first outreach method that we're going to be going into today is called the 72-hour outreach method, or the network outreach method. And the reason why it's called the 72 outreach method is because, as it sounds, you can get a client literally in the next 72 hours from doing this. Now, I suggest, again, that you watch everything first and then come back and do the steps, but this is going to be your first step as far as outreach goes. And yes, after you've literally written your first piece of copy, you should start outreaching. You should start trying to get clients, because copywriting is literally learn while you earn. Okay, so if you have one client, even if it's a small guy and you're writing like 8 emails for whatever, dude, like $100, obviously that's not the rate that we want. But dude, don't let money get in the way of opportunity. Now you're actually working for a client. Now you can say you're a professional copywriter, and it's huge, not only for your social proof and your credibility, but also for yourself, your self-confidence, dude. Like, a lot of people are going to have imposter syndrome. They're going to think, well, why should people pay me when there's people out there who have been doing this for 5 years? We are going to combat that by literally just getting our first client right away. And here is some people who actually did it and got their clients in literally 72 hours. I learned copywriting from Tyson. It took about 1 to 2 months. Then I watched the 72 hours on how to get your first client video. I revealed the method. I did everything that Tyson said in the video. On the first day, I got my first client and made $100. Thanks, Tyson. Now I have a client. No problem, bro. It was really that easy. Proof is right there. Another guy just watched the get your first client in 72 hours video from Tyson and got my first client. Let the timer tell the rest. Took him 11 hours, bro. Not even 12, 11 hours and 36 minutes. Okay, again, fearless. Yo, Tyson, I used your outreach technique, and the 4th outreach ever was a success. Literally my 4th outreach ever. Today, I'll ask him about the things he's missing and go on from there. So 4th outreach with a client. The next guy, $2,620 started 2 weeks ago. Okay, just 2 weeks. I know that's not 72 hours, but you get the point. You know, you can start making actual life-changing money in a few weeks, a month. That's all it takes with copywriting. You just have to apply yourself. Here's another thing, dude. Closed mouths don't get fed. If you're sitting there writing copy and writing copy and writing copy and you're not outreaching, you're not looking for opportunities, how do you expect to make money? Doesn't really make any sense to me. I don't know. I literally don't know. Hero says, closed my first deal on my 2nd day of outreach. I understand I might have been lucky to an extent. However, if this doesn't prove speed, I don't know what does. After going back and forth last night, I managed to book a sales call for today. 30 minutes later, I had $300 for 4 emails. That's almost $100 per emails, my friend. He didn't mention sending half first. I didn't appear interested in the money either. He just said he likes my integrity and is confident in my abilities. Some advice is to study all areas of human psychology while you're not doing actual copy. That's what allowed me to lead people into what they think are independent thoughts and give them solutions on the spot. Another thing, be relentless with your outreach. Why put the phone down if you don't even have a reply yet? There's so much money out there, you just have to get it quicker than everyone else. Your win is coming. You can quit today and prevent it, or you can stick around and find out what this space has to offer you. Special thanks to Tyson and Zenos for making this amazing community. The value in here is easy to find and absolutely endless. W win speech, and I'll completely agree, bro. 2 days, $300. Now that you know that, yes, again, this is one of the top questions of people's mind. Yes, it works. Yes, I have proof. It's right here. So let's hop right into it. On your second watch, not your first one, on your second rewatch, set your timers for literally 72 hours and let's begin. Start after you finish the video and comment 72 if you accept the challenge. And then after your timer is up, 72 hours later, come back to this video and let us know the results. Not everybody's going to get clients this way, but this is like the low-hanging fruit. This is the easiest way. Step 0, throw your preconceived notions aside. So here's the thing. There's 2 main things everybody has to get over. This actually does work. You know this works. I just showed you it will work, and I proved you it will work. The second thing is this can work for me. It can work for you. The people who actually make money with this method are the ones who think initially, you know what, this isn't going to work for me. And then they go ahead and make the money. So step 1, write down everyone you know who owns a business or knows someone who owns a business. Let's say you know Joe And then Joe has a friend named Bob. You don't know Bob very well, but you're going to hit up Joe and say, hey man, I know that Bob has a company. Do you think you could, tell him that you know me and, let him know who I am and then ask him a question for me? He'll say, yeah, sure. What's the question? And the question is simple. Okay. So you're going to write down everybody that you know. You're going to actually spend time doing this, like 30 minutes. And after you're done writing it down, sit there and think, because it's that one person who's at the back of your mind who you've completely neglected, but you actually do know. Step 2 is to message each person with a non-direct pitch. This is something that is super, super, super simple. It literally has to be something like, hey, I'm starting this online digital marketing thing and I'm looking for my first case studies. Do you happen to know anybody who would be interested in some free work or a small discovery project to test out my skills? That's it. Now, here's the thing. Here's the notice. Number 1, you're not pitching them directly. Hey man, can I work for you? Hey man, do you need a copywriter right now? Those are not things you want to do because again, that sacrifices the relationship. Okay. And you don't want to do that. By asking if they know anyone, you're indirectly asking them. That's essentially it. You go to these people and ask them if they know anybody who'd be interested in your digital marketing services, and that's it. Sounds too simple. Tyson, I don't know anybody. I don't know any business people. I'm not sure. Dude, step 0, okay? Complete step 0. Throw the preconceived notions aside and actually do this stuff. Because I'm telling you, man, it will make a difference in your life. Step 3 is to profit. It's that simple. Come up with some way. Like people ask me this all the time. What should I pitch them? What should I pitch them? Pitch them what they need. Ask them. They have the answers that you're looking for. And a lot of people want a scripted out, like they're going to say this, you're going to say this, they're going to say this, you're going to say that. But it doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that. It's like chess. If you're playing chess, principles are so much more effective than trying to memorize every move that people are going to do. Like, dude, you're not a superhuman computer. It doesn't work like that. Because here's the thing. You're going to study a conversation and then you're going to come to the part where they should say yes and they say no. And then you're going to be like, well, shit, I didn't study. I don't know what to say now. And then you're going to be lost. So just go into it. You don't need to know every single thing, every single word. And people ask me this question all the time. And although this is a little bit off topic, everybody should know this as well. Tyson, what do I do after I close the sale? Do what you agreed upon. Do what you actually said that you would do. Some of these questions, I'm not really sure. I mean, I guess I understand because people are just trying something new and they have questions about everything. But yeah, understand that you're going to go through it and you're going to feel confused the whole way through. This is normal. Okay, so first method is the Instagram value offer method. Now, as a quick disclaimer, if you watch any of my other videos before, we don't teach or promote bait and riz or bait and switch much anymore because it doesn't really offer any value up front. A lot of people are already doing it and it doesn't really work that well. It did work well for me. Like this is literally how I got a lot of my clients, but it's not going to be your best bet. So moving on. So number 1 is a story reply method or a compliment method. Those are the 2 openers that we're going to talk about today. The story reply method, as it sounds, reply to their Instagram story with a genuine statement or question that intrigues them to reply. Super, super simple. Like don't overthink these steps. Literally just ask them a question about whatever is on their story. Next is the compliment method. Send them a genuine compliment / observation statement about something on their page that they can easily reply to. And that's it. I don't know how much simpler I can put it, but that's literally it. Okay. So with the compliment, for example, the worst thing you can do is be generic. And I see people send like, I don't want to say dumbest, but they're just beginners, really, really beginner openers. So they'll message somebody and they say, hey man, I really like the color of your website. Super cool, super cool. It's like, bro, the color of their website, they probably didn't even pick the color of their website. And they probably don't even know what the color of their website is. They made it a long time ago. Like make the compliment something about their actual business, a video that they created a while ago, something like that. Okay, make it genuine. Pro tip. Okay, so make sure that you get them to reply to you so that they will put you in their main inbox and get notified when you message them. So in Instagram, there's 2, technically 3 inboxes. There's the request tab, there's a primary tab, and then there's a general tab. Now, when you're in the request tab, they're not going to get notified and they're not going to really see your messages unless they go over to requests. That's where you're going to be first. You're going to message them first and you're going to be in the request tab. Once they reply to you, you'll be either in their primary tab or their general tab. If you're in their general tab, they're not going to get notified when you outreach to them, but you're still going to be in their inbox. And if you go to their primary tab, now they're actually going to get notified when you message them. Those are the differences. So the main goal here is for your opener to get you into the primary or the general tab. Okay, this is all super important. So you want them to reply. You want them to give you some sort of, reply back so that they can put you in that main inbox. Next is that you're going to want to use your first words as a subject line. This is a part of the reason why learning copywriting skills, again, is so important and make it intriguing for them to open. So as I go through here, I have some quote unquote subject lines. So let's look at the first one, 4 messages. So if you send them multiple messages, all you're going to see is this message. And I'll tell you firsthand, these are the least least likely messages for me to open because like, I don't know what it is. And if I open it and if I'm just not sure. It could be just them spamming me with a bunch of stuff and I'm probably not going to open it. Then there's the second one. Yo, Tyson, can you just let me know something? Okay, so this one is not really that intriguing. Probably not going to open it again because, again, the subject line makes it sound like he's asking for value, or he wants to get value from me. And of course, there's nothing wrong with that. I appreciate everyone who follows me, who DMs me, but it is statistically and physically impossible for me to actually apply to everybody. So that's kind of just is what it is. And then the next one, view photo. Now this one is more on the intriguing side. When I could press this button right here on the right, and I'm quite intrigued on what photo he sent me. So this one I'm probably going to open. Next, hi Tyson, I know you're busy building. Okay, so what I would do in the opener is cut the hi Tyson, cut the name, because you're taking up valuable space right there. And I know you're busy building. He's probably saying like building your copywriting empire or something, right? That's a pre-made opener that I've used before in the past. But essentially how it goes is I know you're busy, or I know you're probably busy doing the whatever thing that they do, and you want to make it something more about their personal life. So if you see a fitness trainer and you see that they have like a common saying, right? Let's say they say leg press over squats. Like, hey man, I know you're probably busy completely neglecting squats and putting all your time into leg press since it's the better exercise, but I wanted to XYZ. I wanted to show you something. I wanted to show you something with your sales page. I wanted to show you how you can make some more sales. Those are some examples. Don't use those verbatim, but you get the point. And this is a story reply. A lot of the times I'm more likely to answer story replies or at least open them up because I'm interested to see what people are saying, how people are responding to the story. But remember, if you send a story reply and then send them another message, it's going to look like this and people aren't going to want to open it. So hopefully that gets the gears turning behind what you want your openers to look like and how you want the first line to look like. That's a pro tip that I've actually never revealed on YouTube before. So step 1.5 is to marinate. It is the easiest step because it entails literally doing nothing. Complimenting someone and then pitching them in the same sentence is behavior that feels let your opener get replied to and then only pitch the person again in a couple days later. Now, step number 2 is to offer value. Offer some sort of value while coming from a standpoint of, I'm curious if this is something that could work for you, rather than this is going to make you tons of money. Remember, guys, you want to come off as curious and not promising. Promising is disgusting, it's revolting, and is not going to work on business owners because business owners are more sophisticated and more skeptical than anybody else in the world. Because they get hit up all the time. They see a whole bunch of stuff that's completely not right. And yeah, that's basically it. We're going to cover free value creation in depth, but all you need to remember is a couple of things when offering value. Number 1 is to be intriguing. Number 2 is to make your offer easy to accept, meaning, hey man, I have this thing I could offer you. Can you let me know what your open rate was on your last 4 emails? It's like, dude, no, they're not going to do that. If you're offering value, is to say, hey, I made you this thing. If you're down to check it out, see if it would be worth your time, just say yeah, and I'll send it over. Boom, that's basically it. And then next is to make your offer easy to consume. Make your offer that you give them easy to consume. Meaning, if you send them a Loom video, you don't want to make a video for them that's like 10 to 20 to 30 minutes long. Super boring. They're not going to watch it. They're going to dip about halfway through. So, pro tip. If you make the offer sound like something that's already been created, you're going to get more people saying yes. So, it would sound something like this. I had spare time today, so I recorded a Loom video showing you how to XYZ, whatever the offer is. Let me know if you'd like me to send it over. That's basically it. So, again, I'm also going to be showing you guys like examples of not only myself, but also my students closing clients in the DMs and what that looks like and what the conversation was like. Step number 3 is to simply give value. This is where you give the value to your prospect after they've confirmed they're willing to view it. Your value needs to be high quality, yet efficient to create and easy to consume. Okay, so value creation will be coming up, but there's some things to know here. So high quality, it has to be very, very high quality value. The higher quality the value, the better chances you get of actually getting that client because nobody else is doing this. And if they do give value, it's garbage. It's dookie balls and the prospect is going to look at it, be revolted, and they're going to dip. And efficient to create. We don't want to spend unnecessary time on each piece of value that we send out. So it has to be high quality, yet efficient. So we don't want to spend all day. We want speed and also easy to consume. So it can't be too long. It can't be too much. So essentially it comes down to not how much value you give them, how many minutes of value, but it's more of how much value per minute. So if you give them tons of value in like 5 minutes, it's way better than giving them like 30 minutes of just all right value per minute. So much better. And next is to pitch the call. Either in the value itself, so maybe you make a video at the end of the video, say, hey, let's hop on a call, or as you're sending the value. Pitch the prospect on getting a call after they've replied to you, and you can discuss if your value could work for them or if there are any other ways that you could add value to what they're doing. Again, this will come from a standpoint of curiosity and not promising.